What's up, everybody? Hey, I don't know who needs to hear this, but I think it'd be a good idea to show people why annuities are powerful on paper when it comes to drawing income from retirement, right? So, what I want to do is I want to just briefly walk everybody through how an annuity would compare to, let's just say, managed account equities or equities and bond portfolio. So, how does it compare, right? So, let's skip ahead here to what annuities are currently paying, right? So as it sits right now, annuities are currently paying a pretty good percentage. Okay, so I have here where you guys can see a 65-year-old in Michigan with $1 million. We're going to defer income for 1 year starting at 66, and we're going to go to a company that I like and I trust in his level. So we have Emeritus up here as the first one that comes up, but reduces at 71. We don't want that. So we're going to skip past those and we're going to go right to ones that don't reduce. So Corebridge, same thing, reduces income. First one that comes up that we like is Equitrust. So Equitrust, their Market 7 is going to pay a guarantee of 94,000 $963 on $1 million account after a 1 year deferral. So we could open this up. We could look at deferral snapshot and we could say, okay, what if I wanted to defer more than 1 year? Here's your guaranteed payouts each year you defer. So as you can see, they're extremely strong. You know, first year being 8.75%, 9.5, 10.3, 11.1, 12, 13, 14, right? Those are pretty high percentage payouts for today's even today's rates. So what that means is I can put $1 million in here and I can guarantee a $94,963 paycheck for the rest of my life, not adjusted for inflation, but that's okay. So why don't we take a look and see how does that compare to, let's say, an equities account? So before anybody gives me any flack here, yes, I am using 2000 to 2023. Okay, I'm going to show you some other ones as well. So let's just say I threw it all in the S&P in 2000. Yeah, I get it. Started in a bad spot. $1 million. You ran out in 2009. You would have gotten 131,000 bucks back out of it. Terrible, right? Could that happen? Yeah, could happen. It definitely could happen. Why? Obviously, we have 3 bad years to start. Then '08, your money would have been in a pretty rocky space. You're taking almost 10% out. Obviously, you're gonna go broke really really fast. I'm sorry, you didn't take 131,000 out. You took 94,000 for was that 8 years. So you didn't even get your $1 million back. So now let's go over to 1998. Okay, let's start off with 2 really good years. You made a 26% return, you made a 19% return, and yeah, you had 3 down years after that. I get it. It's historical. That's, we can't really go back so far because it's irrelevant time periods. So let's go back as far as we can to make it make sense. By the way, if I go back to 97 or 96, it still looks just as bad, just not, it still looks bad, just not as bad. So in this scenario, same thing. Put in $1 million, defer it 1 year, start income. You ran out in 2014. Well, Tracy, equities aren't meant to do that type of a withdrawal, as Dave Ramsey would say they are. But okay, fine. Let's go to a bond portfolio. Let's use the S&P bond Barclays aggregate, U.S. bond aggregate, which is what the 4% rule is based off of. $1 million, defer 1 year, starting income. What are we looking at? Running out of money in 2012, right? Now, something that is popular with this is that you can normally take out a nice chunk of assets. In this case, let's say it was 60,000, right? We don't run out of money. If we did try that here, I still believe you run out of money pretty quick. Let's take a peek. Okay, there you go. You do. Obviously, if you go to 1998, 60, I think this one might make it. It does make it. Okay, so big difference between 98 and 2000. Something that we're not taking in consideration here are fees, right? You add an advisor fee on top of that. Obviously, it makes it look a lot worse. Add an advisor fee on top of this. 1% cost this person a lot of money, right? So and again here, what if you had an advisor fee on this? Apparently my formula's not working. That's okay. All right, so it looks like in this case you do run out. So The point behind this, you guys, is that um, the 4% rule or taking money from equities or whatever, it would be so grossly negligent for somebody to say, "Hey, Mrs. Jones, here's a portfolio I'm going to put together for you to maximize income, and this $1 million you can start taking 9.5% out next year, and you wouldn't have to worry about running out of money." That's negligence, right? So it's not that we're comparing equities to annuities in the sense that they're you should only draw from one, because essentially, what if somebody had a $50,000 income requirement or a $60,000 income requirement? Well, I just showed you, in these scenarios what 60,000 would do, but in an annuity, you would need $1 million to solve for the income, right? So why don't we, peel off excess, whatever it takes to solve that income, even not even all of it, just a piece of it, throw the rest in an equities portfolio. Now the percentage withdrawal is so much less. Why? Because you're using an annuity which is taking on a lot higher of that withdrawal, which means that now you can kind of level out percentages to a reasonable limit in an equities or just a managed money account, which makes it much more reasonable. It allows you a little bit more of a dynamic withdrawal strategy as well, instead of a static, which an annuity gives. And it just helps you leverage risk appropriately. So I want to just make a quick video on that so you guys understand that. Apparently, some people don't understand where annuity payouts are today. You can also compare that to immediate annuities or deferred annuities, SPIAs and DIAs, and FIAs with the guaranteed lifetime withdrawal benefit are the highest right now. So that's how powerful they can be, right? Again, I'm not saying equities are bad. Equities are fantastic, but it's how you leverage it appropriately inside of a portfolio. That's why we use annuities. That's why we like them. Okay. You guys have a blessed day.